Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first intro that I'm filming in this house. I hope this is the first video that actually goes out or else that's gonna be a little embarrassing. The reason you clicked on this video is to know which zero waste sunscreen is the best. And I was inspired to make this video after my friend Kristen posted a version of the same type of video comparing and reviewing a bunch of different zero waste sunscreens. I thought there are so many zero waste sunscreens out there. I think I'm gonna do one as well, but with different brands than Kristen used. So if you're interested in more zero waste sunscreens, I'll leave her video linked up here. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different criteria with all of these brands. First, we're gonna talk about packaging. Packaging is always something big that I look at with all of the brands I review. We're also going to be reviewing SPF. SPF is really important for me as I am quite fair-skinned, so I like to have as much sun protection as I can. That's not necessarily important to everybody, but that's how I'm going to be critiquing it. We're also going to be looking at white cast / how well does it actually rub in. We're also going to be judging based on scent. This wasn't something I originally wanted to review, but after opening a few brands, this is something I'm going to critique. And then the last thing we're going to be critiquing these sunscreens on, how well do they actually work? Of course they're going to protect against the sun, but I'm one who likes to swim, kayak, hike, bike, run, all sorts of stuff outside. So are these going to be resistant to sweat? We'll find out. And lastly, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of these brands for gifting me these sunscreens so that I'm able to review this content for you. Oh, and of course we're going to be reviewing based on price as well, because I know that is a consideration for a lot of people. So the first package I got is from Sea and Summit. Let's just go ahead and open it. There's this pull tab. Ooh, okay. Oh my gosh, they sent me so much. So big thank you to Sea and Summit for sending me these goodies to review for this video. First off, packaging, 100% paper, super awesome, which means it's completely recyclable. We have these two that come in tubes. Okay, so it looks like these are the same. Like you can keep this in your house and then this would go like in your carry-on if you're going on a plane. And then they also have some tubes made of bamboo. So this is the Tan Mineral Sun Barrier SPF on this. SPF 50. Ooh, so satisfying. Here's the color. Here's what it looks like. It looks pretty close to my skin tone. There it is on. Can you see that? And then I think this is supposed to be for face and body. And then this is an SPF 30 sun stick. Same thing, made of bamboo, but this one is not tinted. So something quick to note, this might be labeled as a face stick, but you could use it all over your body. So you don't need to get both a body and a face sunscreen. One will do. Same thing. I love that. And then here's how you open it. It's, you know, like a deodorant, like you twist it. This is like, you just push it. I don't want to push it too much because I got to make it go back down. Ooh. So I have 4 different sunscreens from this brand. And then for each brand, I think I'm going to give them each about a week trial run to see how they work. And then that way I can also use them like on a day-to-day basis like I normally would. And then on the weekends when we go out and do adventure stuff, I can try out this to see if it really does stay sweat and water resistant. So let's go ahead and give them a try and then also see how well they all apply. We'll start with the white one. I can't really see, I need a mirror. Let's go do this in the bathroom. I also forgot about this little guy. I believe this is just the mini face stick. How cute is this? Sorry if it's a little echoey in here. We just moved in like yesterday and we have nothing in here to absorb all the sound. Just put a nice, wow. Even like not rubbing it in, you can still barely see it. So rubbing it in, can't even tell I'm wearing sunscreen. And just for fun, I'm gonna see how well this applies to the skin. That is skin. And just for fun, I'm gonna see how well this applies to the body. Really, really easy. This rubs in really, really well. I've always been weary of zero waste sunscreens because like of the solidness, and I never thought that they would apply well. So I know this is only my first one, but I'm really impressed with how well this applies. Let's try the tinted one. So something, oh, that matches my skin tone so good. But that's also an issue, and that's what I was just gonna say, is that while this may look good on people with similar skin tones to mine, if you have lighter skin, you have darker skin, this isn't gonna match your skin. But if you do have darker skin, this will leave less of a white cast than the pure white sunscreen. Now, something I do want that I did not see when I was doing my research for this video is a zero waste lip sunscreen. My lips are dying in this Nevada sun. Next, these two are exactly the same. I have to look on their website. I'm pretty sure this is made from recycled plastics, and it seems to be 100% plastic, so if you clean this out, it is recyclable. Ooh. This smells really good. Should I judge them based on smell too? A little goes a long way. Yeah, that's a lot. Do my whole arm with that little dollop. Oh wow. That looks really good. Like that rubs in really, really well. Okay, I said I like the smell, but it's honestly a little overwhelming once I put it on my body. You can't even tell I put sunscreen on though. Other than the smell, that is that's strong. And like, it feels a little bit sticky, but I think give it a few minutes, let it dry, it'll be perfect. So these are the same price, both the tinted and the non-tinted. They're both $17.99. And then this little, I need to look up the ounces. This little size is $10. Again, it makes sense for what you're getting. It's safe for the oceans, it's safe for you, for the planet, but that's a lot of money. So this is definitely your more affordable option. This big one is $13. And then of course this looks and acts a lot more like a regular sunscreen. If you're kind of on the beginning of your zero waste journey, it can be a little weird to use a solid sunscreen, but it all depends on what you want to. I think this is a lot easier to apply to the face. And this is also made out of bamboo, so this is compostable and this is recyclable, and we all know plastic doesn't always get recycled. So plastic, I'm not a big fan of. So this is made from 100% recycled plastic, so that is pretty great. But the fact is that plastic is still really hard to recycle, especially when it's already been recycled. And then the last thing I'm going to be rating is water resistant / sweat resistant. So I'll see you back here in a week to let you know about that. Hello everybody. So it's been a few days and I got my next package. This one is from Butter Me Up Organic. First off, love the tiny package. I think that's always something really important, is like, you can package your package as plastic free as you want, but if it's a gigantic box with one little thing in it, it's still taking up so much room. So here's what we have inside. We got a magnet. I talked about this with one of the underwear brands in my period underwear review video. Like, nice touch, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Ultimately, it's gonna end up in the trash. Here we go though. This is the Butter Me Up Organics. Okay, it smells very neutral. I love this already. It's so melty. Sea and Summit, I did like their face stick when I used it this week, but it is rather hard, like texture wise. And what I mean is, like, if you live in a cold climate or you keep your AC pretty low, it's really hard to apply. I feel like it takes a lot of work to rub it in, but this, I touched it and it started melting, which is really nice. I think it's gonna make it really easy to apply, but it's also a little concerning because I don't keep my AC very low and I live in Las Vegas where the summers are easily over 100 degrees every day. So something I already like about Sea and Summit is that they include their SPF on their container, like so. So as you can see here, they also have a jar of sunscreen, so that's pretty cool. 4 ounce in glass is $24.95 USD. I can't seem to find their sunscreen and paper on their website, but they do have a lotion bar just like this for 4 ounces, which is $15.95. So this is probably approximately the same price, maybe a little less because it's only 3 ounces. I don't know. And then it's SPF 45, so it's pretty comparable to the other ones. Let's just go ahead and put it on. It's so melty. This feels really nice. It's so buttery. Okay, I really like this because it just feels like a really nice face lotion, face oil, but it has SPF in it, so that's really nice. And like, you can't even tell I'm wearing anything. It feels really, really good on my skin. It's not sticky at all. Kind of have to push and rub a little harder, but this one it just glides. As well as this one feels a little bit sticky for like the first 5 or so minutes until it absorbs. I feel like this one, the Butter Me Up Organics, soaks in right away. Like, if you're going camping and it's summer, this is definitely not the sunscreen for you. It will melt all over your bag for sure, because my house is only like 72 and it's melting. If you just want a sunscreen to apply every day, like before you go outside, and like you keep it in your house, maybe this one's for you. I think that is the point of Sea and Summit. That it's kind of in the name. Their goal is to make a sunscreen for like hiking, swimming, surfing, biking, all that stuff, while this one's just more of an everyday use. Really, really like this. I'm gonna give it a try for a few days and then I'll meet you back here for a summary about it. I'm back to give you a recap on Sea and Summit. I really, really like it. I think it applies really easily. Not the most easy of the brands that I've tried, but it's still really, really easy to apply. I was very skeptical about like solid sunscreens, but it exceeded my expectations. It also contains zinc oxide, non-nano, which that's what you wanna look for when you're looking for a reef-safe sunscreen. And it's just kind of like with other labels like eco-friendly, green. They're not regulated terms, just like reef-friendly. So just because a sunscreen says reef-friendly doesn't necessarily mean it is. So you want to double check the ingredients as well as that reef-friendly label. And you want to look for non-nano zinc oxide. That's what makes it reef-friendly. These are my favorite products from Sea and Summit for sure. Like I said, I have this like more liquid type lotion from them, but I don't really like the smell. And the more I used it, the more I just got banana Laffy Taffy vibes. Why did I smell it? I am back with sunscreen at number 3. This one is from EIR. Okay, I guess the downside to paper tape is it's kind of hard to take off. Why are you being crazy? All paper. But this goes over like where the lid meets the body so that it stays together, which is really nice because I'm always afraid of like taking stuff like this. Oh my gosh, it's really, really sealed together. I'm also afraid it's liquidy because it's hot. This like literally just showed up at the door. And I'm sure I've mentioned it 1,000 times, but I live in Las Vegas now where it's like 110. So I'm afraid it's like liquid. Oh my gosh, it's coming. I'm afraid I'm gonna break my nails. It's 30 SPF. And it's a really, really big container. It's 8 ounces. I think this is the biggest one I've received so far, except maybe the tube from Sea and Summit. And oils. It's just butters and oils. Pretty much as basic as you can get. I'll be back when I can open this. Good.
So yeah, you might need to let it cool down.
Oh, that's funny.
The jar probably expanded so much that it got hot.
Oh, that would make sense. Here's what it looks like. It's slightly tinted. I did not expect that. This one does leave a bit of a white cast, gotta say. Like, let me turn that brightness down. I feel like I can see it with my own eyes. Like you can tell which hand has sunscreen on it. Once it gets back to room temperature, I'll show you what it looks like. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some on. Look at this texture, it's like mousse. Wow, that's a nice, nice texture. This one is specifically their whipped body butter, as you can see. Let's go ahead and put some on my face. Wow, a little goes a long way. That was just the dollop I had on my finger, so that's nice. It does not blend in very well. I mean, granted, I put way too much on my arm, so definitely start with a little and then add more. Don't add a big glob or else you're gonna look, my arm looks gray. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this color. It's changing my skin tone. So far, honestly, I think it's my favorite packaging because it is reusable. With the recycled plastic tubes, clearly disposable, and at least with the bamboo and the paper tubes, you can compost them. I love being able to reuse containers, so this will be a really nice container to take like stuff on a trip, like for camping, for a flight or whatever. So far, this one definitely the worst when it comes to blending in with your skin, unless you already have like grayish skin. Because if you use too much, it will change your skin tone and will leave like little white flecks. That's interesting. I don't really like the smell. Personally, it just smells kind of like chocolate, and I think that's because the main ingredient is cocoa butter. It does beat the banana smelling sunscreen from Sea and Summit, but still not my favorite scent. This one, really? Oh, that's a 2 ounce? So their 2 ounce of the same exact formula is $24. They do also have a paper tube, which is SPF 50, so it's a higher SPF. That one is $30. So this 8 ounce, it's literally on the 10, or 228 grams, depending on which measurement system you're using, is $45. So it is very pricey. It is the most pricey one I've reviewed so far. This goes a long way. That little dab I had on my finger was enough for both arms and my face. Okay, so the body butter has solidified. Well, partially. I don't think it's supposed to be like solid, but here's what it looks like. I tried a little bit. You can see the bubbles. It is so whipped and beautiful. Oh, listen to that. So nice. I need to wipe that off because I do not need any more. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what it's actually supposed to look like. Not a complete liquid mess. Okay, I'm back to give you some final thoughts about this one. Honestly, I don't really have any final thoughts. My thoughts are pretty much the same. I love the neutral smell of this, and I love the texture. This is definitely my favorite texture. But honestly, that is my only critique with Butter Me Up Organics, is the texture being a little too oily so it melts. But the texture feels really nice on my skin. It blends in really well. And I believe this one is the cheapest so far. I got another sunscreen, so let's go ahead and open it. This one looks like the first one in that it's just a paper package with like this shredded paper insulation. This is interesting. What is this? It looks like it's all paper. So far, so good. This looks like the sunscreen. Oh, wait, I want to open this. They sent me this. I did not expect this. How cool. Thanks, Raw Love. I have so many reusable straws now. I have no excuse to get a plastic straw. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, and here's their sunscreen. I suspected it leaked because we just got the package. It was sitting outside in the sun and I smelled it. It is the same exact sunscreen in 2 different sizes. The 4 ounce and the 2 ounce, they're both SPF 35. This might end up being like yesterday, in which the metal is really hard to open. Okay, let's go ahead and give this one a try. I'm able to open it now. Got a hair in it. Here's what it looks like. Ooh. I love the look of this. This looks so nice and creamy. Okay. I really like the smell. What scent is that? Eucalyptus, I think. The eucalyptus, lavender, and peppermint. Also, yes, I'm 100% wearing the same shirt from yesterday because it wasn't dirty. Normalize outfit repeating and not washing your not dirty clothes. Is this made for face? Because I'm starting to think maybe it's not. Because, so with peppermint essential oil, it's very, very potent. And so if you use this on your face, just be really, really careful around your eyes because even like the fumes of the peppermint can make your eyes irritated. That's way too much. Let's put some of that on the other arm. This one too, you can see a little bit of a white cast. It looks like I've got sunscreen on, especially if you put it on this thick. So learn from me, put all your sunscreens on thinly. It feels nice, it rubs in really nice. It is quite oily. So they're 4 ounce, this big container is 25 USD. And their 2 ounce is 17 USD. I really like this one. Again, like with the other ones that come in aluminum, I prefer the aluminum just because I can reuse these containers really easily. Okay, so my final thoughts about EIR. I think I still need to give it a few more tries just to see if it was a fluke. But when I put this on last night and I put it on this morning, I felt like I sweat excessively. And it's really weird because like I never noticed myself sweating much here. But when I put this on and we walked in Ahi like at 9 p.m., I was sweating so bad where I put the sunscreen on. My forehead and my arms. And then I put some sunscreen on my legs this morning because my legs were super dry. And then I noticed my legs were sweating this morning at 5 a.m., like before the sun even come up. If anybody else has used this sunscreen and you have the same problem, let me know. But other than that, I still love the texture. I love the whipped aspect. I think the tint is nice. And this is definitely my favorite container. Look at how big this is. Can use this for so many things. This is from Suntribe. Here's their face stick. Or is it a body stick? It's just the stick version. That popped up. Oh, whoa, there we go, just a touch. So it's SPF 30, reef-safe, natural, and then of course it comes in paper, which is biodegradable. And then of course it's the non-nano zinc oxide, which is really important. Okay, let's just go ahead and give it a try. I'm gonna just use it on my top half of my face for today, for this show, because I have their other one as well. This is their mineral sunscreen, just an all-around sunscreen, I guess, for face and body. Let's see, this one again, non-nano zinc oxide. This one is lightly tinted. It's gonna, oh, I don't really, oh, it fell back into the tube really easily. So maybe if you like pinch it a little bit to hold it in place. Yeah, that works. That is the issue I'm finding with a lot of these sunscreens in like the paper stick, is that they fall down really easily and then they push up way too easily. This one is a little hard to rub in, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm sorry, I'm using my camera, my viewfinder. I think it looks pretty good though. Like it doesn't look like very much like a white cast. Maybe, can you tell a different color between the tops and the bottom of my face? I don't know. This one. Oh, it smells like coconut. Here we go. Ooh, that's a nice consistency. It is just slightly tinted. It's like a little tan. It smells like that other one that kind of smells like chocolate, and but it rubs in really well, though I think it leaves quite the white cast. Like just looking at my arms, they look a little gray. I think once you rub it in completely, it looks really nice. It isn't really much of a white cast, though it feels quite oily right now, right off the bat. I'll see how it dries. I'm back with, I believe, my final sunscreen brand to review, and that is Sunbutter. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, how cute, how thoughtful. Personal touch. It is made with recycled paper, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and try to open this carefully. Carefully is no longer enough. They give back 10% of their profits to the planet. That's amazing. And then it also talks about some care for your sunscreen so that it stays in its best condition. And then here's the rest of the packaging. Just one piece of paper. Both 4 hours, both water resistant, both SPF 50. I'm gonna guess this one is tinted. Let's just go ahead and look. This is the first metal tin that I've received, not in the middle of the day, so that's not melted. Ooh, what a nice consistency. And it's not a strong smell at all, if any smell. So if you're sensitive to smells, sensitive to any sort of fragrance, even natural fragrance, this is a sunscreen for you. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the first one I've tried in a while that does not leave a white cast, but it is a little oily. Let's go ahead and look at the maybe tinted one. It literally says it right there. I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is a downside I'm finding to the tin. The metal swells when it's hot, so it's really hard to open. So maybe moving forward with climate change, the tins are best for winter, and then the tubes and the paper things are better. Okay, I really want this to open. To be fair, All the rest of the tins I've gotten, I think I've gotten 3 up to this point. Before these, they were all pull off. This one is a twist. Look at that color. It looks like coffee. It looks so nice. This one is a little more solid, but still the same like kind of liquidy consistency. It just reminds me of like a liquid foundation. Okay, this is really dark. Does it blend? Okay, that's way too much. We'll try smell my arm as well. Okay, it looks pretty good on my arm. Do my arms look any different? I don't know. Okay, let's finish rubbing this on my face. Also, it's like literally 8 p.m. and I'm putting on sunscreen. That blends in really well. Flattering angle, isn't it? I think that blends in really well. But can you see how shiny my hands are? That is my only critique of Sunbutter so far. Like I said with one of the other brands, I love the tins because they're reusable. And Sunbutter blends in really well. It looks like that tinted ends up blending into my skin pretty well despite the darkness. So it looks like it might work for different skin tones. And it blends in really well and doesn't leave a white cast. So that's really, really a plus. Quite oily. Now I think it's gonna absorb into my skin within the next few minutes. Wow, for application, it's not my favorite. I also really like that these are SPF 50. These are definitely one of the higher SPFs. They're sensitive to the sun and sensitive to smells because neither of these really had a scent. You can go ahead and check out this video up here on how to repurpose tins from your sunscreen. I use Sunbutter in particular because they sent me some empty tins to do this, but you can use any of your sunscreen tins for this upcycle video. Okay, so a little bit of a sunscreen update. I got a tattoo, a new one. Go ahead and admire her. It's still really fresh. I just got it on Saturday and today is Wednesday. Because it's so sunny where I live, like sunscreen on a tattoo is essential or else it's gonna really, really hurt when it's fresh and it's gonna fade really quickly. Right when I got my tattoo, this was my go-to sunscreen, Butter Me Up Organics, and it's because it is such a soft consistency. It blends into the skin really easily without having to rub this raw skin, and it doesn't have any fragrance. All that to say, I probably could have used Sunbutter, the brand that I just got today, and I probably will now, Raw Love and EIR. Now just a quick recap, this one has peppermint oil in it, which would really burn a fresh tattoo. This one is really, really hard to rub into the skin, again, which would be very painful on a brand new tattoo. Definitely gonna use it down the road to protect my tattoos, but for a fresh tattoo, no. Same with this one, it's pretty hard to rub in. Now this one would work as well, but it does also have fragrance in it, and I just wanted to keep it as fragrance-free basic for the first few weeks of my tattoo healing process. And as you can see, we used a lot. There were 4 of us. Me, my mom, my sister, and Dan all got tattoos, and we've all been using this for like 3 days. Let's go ahead, and that's all I've been doing. Just a little layer, and then I don't rub it in. I leave it as a nice thick coat because it's also a moisturizer. So that's really the nice part about all of these natural sunscreens. You're really killing the mood. Is that not only do they function as a sunscreen because they have SPF, but they're all made out of natural oils and butters, so they're also moisturizer as well, which is really important for new tattoos. Let's go ahead and get into the final thoughts. I broke it down into a few categories. My favorite overall, my favorite for traveling / hiking, and then my favorite for like at-home use only. First off, my favorite overall is Butter Me Up Organics, and I was a little skeptic at first because this one kind of melted all over the place. And that is why this is not my favorite for camping. And that's because it's in a paper tube, it's very oily. This would melt all over the place if I took this on a summer hike in the Southwest. But I love this brand because it is so creamy, it spreads in the skin so easily, and it doesn't feel that oily as well. I also like that it is scented free, and like I mentioned earlier, it works really, really great on new tattoos because it's scented free. So that's why I think this one would probably be one of my favorites for at home as well. Now my favorite for camping is probably a tie between Sea & Summit plastic and then also the Suntribe plastic, which I left. Dan took that on his hiking trip this weekend. And that's because the paper ones would melt all over the place. Now this bamboo one would probably do well as well for outdoor adventures like hiking, but the metal ones too, while of course they're not going to melt all over the place because they're metal expands when it gets warm, so it makes it really hard to open when you're out on a hot summer hike. It's not going to melt all over the place, it's secure, and it's still easy to access even in the heat or the cold. And then my favorite, okay, this is my second favorite overall, was Sunbutter, and that's because, again, it's really creamy, really easy to apply, unscented, and they also have a tinted and a non-tinted version, so I think that was really cool. And then really my only 2 critiques with EIR and Raw Love are that they're both pretty hard to apply. They're quite thick formulas, and this one makes me look so gray. So I'm still gonna use this. As you can see, I've still used a lot. I like to use it on my legs before bed as like a lotion. And then my other big critique with Raw Love was the scent. I mentioned that in the beginning. It is peppermint, and honestly, it does smell really nice, but I feel like that makes it very dangerous to use on your face because if you get that in your eye, it's gonna burn really bad. If you get it in a cut, it's gonna burn really bad. So not my favorite scent-wise, but I still like it. None of these sunscreens I actually hate, I didn't like, didn't enjoy. No, nothing like that. They're all still really great sunscreens. Of course, everyone's different when it comes to SPF, scent, application, price as well. I hope that you found the sunscreen that you might love in this video. If not, don't forget to check out Kristen's video where she reviews more zero waste sunscreens. Again, you don't have to buy any of the ones either of us recommend. What's important when you're looking for zero waste sunscreen is non-nano zinc oxide. That is what actually makes it reef safe. And don't forget to stay tuned. I have another big brand review coming up soon, which is reviewing different laundry detergents. Again, I made a video maybe over a year ago at this point, reviewing 4 different brands of laundry detergents. And I think I have 4 or 5-ish more that I'm reviewing this year, some more brands to choose from. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. Is it down there? Is it down here? And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know what sort of brands you would like to see. Do you like individual brand reviews, like reviewing one brand at a time? Or do you like when I review like 6 of the same brands and let you know kind of which one I think is the best? Personal opinion, of course. So definitely let me know. Okay, that's all for now. Again, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember that these small changes you make have a big impact in the long run. Bye guys. And I was inspired to make this video. Some things we're going to be talking about in this review today. We're going to be recovering. Can you tell it's been a while since I filmed a video? Sport mode? Sport mode? Please be not so orange, please. This bathroom is much more conducive for filming though. Look at this room. My other bathroom is so small. Okay, don't mind me. I always show my address. Mooch, did I walk you in here? Oh no. Because I live in Las Vegas. How many times am I gonna say that in this video?